Hello, everyone. Welcome back to JRPL Frontline. I am your co-host Scott here with the world champion still, Beer Me Jesus. How are you today, champ?
I'm doing really good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. We both went to WrestleMania and we both won again.
The streak lives on.
The streak lives on. You've got an interesting addition on that streak, but we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, JRPL WrestleMania just happened a week ago, but the results just came out a week. It takes time for the write up, but the results are out. It's at jobberradio.com. People can go check it out. It's up on the page. People can see here. It is easily our biggest write up of any type. We went all out, partially because we didn't have Ring of Honor, Supercard, or Takeover, so a lot of stuff got bumped to that. And we were kind of jonesing for it. We kind of wanted to make something big and epic out of it, because we didn't know what would be next. Um, we didn't know what Money in the Bank would be if there even would be one, let alone Rebellion or uh, Death Before Dishonor and all this other shows. So we knew the Crockett Cup was out, at least from NWA. If we even consider doing NWA, now we can't. It's gone. So we didn't know what exactly was what. So much so that we don't know about Double or Nothing with AEW. It's all weird. But this is going to be continuing as a weekly show now that things are a bit back on track of sorts. Um, and we can go from there. We can really cover things and try to determine what's what. If you notice on the page below our logo, there is a little spot there that does say Money in the Bank. Yes, Money in the Bank is coming up, but we'll get to that. First off is WrestleMania. Now, we could easily spend all day long going through this because it's real big. People can see the achievements on here, and we've not really mentioned achievements, but there are achievement points too, like winning a match, appearing on 50 shows, winning a title, defending a title, stuff like that. It is think Xbox and PlayStation trophies. Um, a lot were handed out at this one, including yourself, Beerme. You won a battle royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Or we'll get to that because we got the kickoff show. Again, for the sake of brevity, because Frontline is designed to be more like a half-hour thing. It's been an hour the last little bit, but it's been weird. So for the sake of brevity, we're not going to go through the whole thing. Please read through it. But what I want to focus on is at least even new people do come in. First show ever, you're in the write up, generally, if there's something going on. Not every match gets a write up, but you're still on the card. We've got RGX getting the win over Jornicorn and Fated Karma in a triple threat match. Okay. Um, One of my favorite things about this prediction league is just like in wrestling, you get some weird names. Because looking at this first paragraph, we've got Alaska Brown, we've got Jason, we've got RGX, Fated Karma. I mean, you go by Bear Me Jesus, I'm Scott. We get some interesting names, which is always fun, I think. But there's some big wins. There's some interesting stuff through here. Like I said, do check it out. The main one we need to mention here, though, is the six-man match that had the winner go on later to challenge for the Road Warrior title in that six-man match, which was a ladder match. And wouldn't you know it, Captain Charisma did get the win.
Yeah. You picked him.
I did.
Picked him to win.
It was interesting because it was literally a case of taking all the Road Warrior challengers and the potential challengers and everybody we thought of and just kind of threw it all in there. And this is what we end up with. So there we go. So that is that. And going into the actual card itself, we do have the Peanut Memorial Battle Royal. No, Peanut's not dead. It was just a joke that's become a 3-year thing now. And as you can see, this card was stacked with the people involved. Both of us were in it. The top lock champ, Redhead, was in it. I believe the former tag champs, Modstep and Chappers, were both in it. Yep. GMSG and Tigress, the current tag champs going into it, were in it. And he was a former winner, as was Cammy Cat. And yes, you won this one, Beer Me. You won the Battle Royal. The world champion went in there, outlasted everybody else. Red and I got tossed. Yeah, it happened. And you won. And you won an actual shirt from Bomber, an actual prize, which you have selected, I understand. And you
Yes, sir.
started off WrestleMania with a win.
It felt good.
It must feel good, especially after not winning last year's Royal Rumble. And it's a little
Oh,
bit
I
of a...
thought
Vindication,
I
right?
thought I was gonna finish. Yeah, I thought I was gonna finish second again.
Oh, that's the worst too.
Yeah.
Um, but no, you won that one. I don't want to say handily. I forget what the scores were. It's been a while. But you did win that one. I think you outlasted Modstep. He was your last. Yeah, Modstep was
hmm
doing really good. You outlasted him toward the end. So, but remember, Jesus
I
wins.
think I won by two
I
points.
think it might have been. Yeah. Now, how battle royals work is those count as a win on your record. If you lose a battle royal, it doesn't count as a loss. Like there weren't 19 people getting a loss for that. But Beer Me got a win. So that's a good way to start WrestleMania for Beer Me Jesus. Then we have the Top Block Championship. Now, you've read through the results, I presume, Beer Me?
Yes,
With
I have.
with the insanity that happened here. This match saw Redhead 12 defending her Top Block title for the first time in a Falls Count Anywhere death match against Jonathan C.T. Martin, not only former champion, but part of the Enigmas. There was a big deal with them. And CT was attacked quite a bit by people who he thought
hmm
was Red, myself, and Lee, the Masked Rider, as Infinity, because that was where it was all linked to. And that's what prompted this falling out, Enigmas explode. And if CT did not win, he would never get a shot at the Top Block title again. Now, I don't know the semantics of that, if it means the title, or while Red has it, but I think it's the title. But it's wrestling. You never know. We'll see. Redhead did retain, um, but we'll get to the specifics of that. Because how this went is things
It
went
was insane.
insane, and they went to the back, and the cameras cut out.
Yeah.
Because then we continued on with the Enigmas versus Renaissance. And that's where this went nuts, because if you ever saw WrestleMania 12, you'll know where that's going. But we'll get back there, because Cassius and Nathan AK defeated, lost. Where was it? Yeah, they lost to the Renaissance. It was the Rebirth, I do believe. Um,
Mm.
Adnex kind of turned here. He kind of let Cassius down in this one. Throwing
Or
it
no,
away.
it was Adnex and Junction.
Did I say that?
You
Who?
said you said Adnex and Cassius.
Okay, sorry, it was Cassius and Nathan 8K of the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
hmm
There's too many names. But yeah, Adnex Injunction. Adnex kind of threw it away. Um,
hmm
Interesting stuff considering what's going on with the Enigmas right before that to see this happen. So it kind of ended like, what's going on there? And that was Renaissance's first tag team win as well. So definitely a good
hmm
match for them in that.
A little foreshadowing. Good, pretty good night for Renaissance.
Good
Uh,
foreshadowing.
hmm
Not a good night for the Enigmas, but we come back
No.
to them because it continued going on, and we saw the feed in the back where in a conference room CT was facing Red. And full disclosure, I believe a big part of the inspiration was some of the cinematic matches that WrestleMania had. So just having fun within the Performance Center because that's where we had this taking place.
hmm
They kept fighting and they left. They literally left and they couldn't find him. So the match continues, but we had to keep going as the show must go on with LJ and Cam Popplestone.
Oh yeah.
Now this one was hot going in, very violent, very intense, and ended up pretty quickly because as Cam was going to pick up LJ rolled him up, caught him in a small package,
Yeah.
and just boom, got him.
Yeah.
Which I like. It's we talked about that during the main WrestleMania card, but it's not like he defeated him outright and beat him down. No, he stole the win. So
Yeah.
there might be more involved on that, but LJ did get the win, outsmarted the veteran, really proving LJ as he's had a solid year. Like WrestleMania was really his coming out because he started strong right before it, had a real good showing, and has just
hmm
been running strong ever since. Which is why I picked him going in. To be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. He's had a really good year so far.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Jace Villain 13 and the Green Machine. This one was much more hard hitting, where Green and Jace just kind of went at it back and forth over and over and over. Um,
hmm
it was violent. I'll admit I wrote it that way because it is the Age of Annihilation and the AHMF, and just there was no getting along with these two. So very violent, very messy, and no, I want to make sure no factions got involved because sometimes you just got to have it one on one, right? So,
Oh yeah.
were you surprised by Green getting the win?
No, I literally thought that match could go either way.
Mhm. Green's one where sometimes doesn't quite get that last thing. Like the UV title slipped through his fingers, but he's a former tag champ, so it's just a matter of stringing it together. And this is definitely a good, solid singles win, I'd say for sure, for sure.
You.
Next up, we have the King of the Ring graphic for the announcement. Yes, the JRPL is hosting a King of the Ring this year. Now, obviously, if WWE is forced to close down shows, we'll do something different. Um, that does not mean that the Tournament of Death is gone. That's historically been taking place at this time. It comes out and ends with SummerSlam. It will still take place. This is going to be after King of the Ring because we don't want to do two tournaments because that's too many bodies all at once. Um, I did kind of say I'd like to see that, but I get why it wouldn't be a way to do it. I don't
Right.
know when the timing will be, but really, if all we have are WWE shows, you got to think Money in the Bank, Extreme Rules, SummerSlam. That's probably going to be the process involved. Um, what we can do is tell you that next week on Frontline, you will get the full brackets of who is in the tournament. What we will reveal as a tease, though, Beer Me, and you don't even know
Ooh,
this part yet.
I don't.
I can reveal a couple names here right now just to get people interested. Give them a bit of a tease. Well, how about this, Beer Me? You're in it.
Hmm. Oh,
You are
I
in
like that.
the tournament, King of the Ring tournament. Hey, guess what? So am I.
Ooh, oh man. Uh,
So it might be in the first round, second, third, or the final. But if we win, me and you,
yeah,
we'll get that match. We'll get that match because there's no Impact. I'm sad, but we're there. So,
yeah.
but
I would like a me and you finals. That would be pretty dope.
I'd like that. But next week we will reveal all of the names. We will reveal the full brackets. We'll put the image up. That'll be here. We'll do some predictions on that as well, and really focus on the King of the Ring for what's coming up. So, I think that'll be a hell of a lot of fun. Um,
Oh yeah.
it's yeah. You so when you saw the King of the Ring graphic, what do you think?
Oh, I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be badass. I'm stoked. Stoked.
Hmm.
I just didn't know how they were gonna do it because, well, we also have Money in the Bank coming up, so I didn't know how or
Yes,
who's gonna be in what. You know, so I'm very intrigued. Very
I
intrigued.
I might be speaking out of my ass because I don't remember fully, but that's kind of the point. I don't know if we're doing
Hmm.
qualifiers for Money in the Bank or it's just going to be outright. Here's the names. I
Hmm.
do know it's going to be either or. It's not like some are in, some qualify. I'm pretty sure it's going to be either or, but I don't know the specifics. That card isn't built yet. There's nothing specific for that one yet. We will get there. I've got the page up, but that's coming in the future bit. What I will say, let me see. I'm just going to count here. The King of the Ring. It is 16 names,
Wow.
and we're two of them. So
Man, I don't I usually don't do well in tournaments though, so I'm a little worried. A little worried.
yes, I've never actually been in one, as far as I know. Like I remember the only time I was close to one was when Super Hippo beat me. That got him into a
Oh
qualifier
yeah.
for the tournament. And that was my third match. Like that's it wasn't really a
Well,
tournament match, but it was like if you the winner would have gone in, but it was never official. So that's the closest I ever came to a
well, I
tournament.
mean, we were in the tag tournament classic, so I mean, we could technically count that. But I
Yeah,
mean, for singles wise, yeah, I guess I
yes.
haven't been in one.
That's what I mean.
So
That's more. Forgive me. I've been in every tag classic. Sorry, but
yeah,
singles is more what I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah,
true. Yeah, then I haven't been in one either.
yeah.
So
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing you
hmm
in there at some point.
I hope we do.
Surely,
I hope we do.
we'll see where that
Hmm.
is. But like I said, next week, tune in. You'll get the full details. Because Bear Me is eager too. You'll see the full details of
Hmm.
who's in and the brackets. So, but back to what we're dealing with here. We have LND and Team No Chance. The winner gets a tag title shot, and they are almost former champion teams. LND were the champs before the Creatures. They're the ones who the Creatures took it from. And Team No Chance is Buck and Vitamin, who didn't fare well in the tournament, and they're looking to redeem here. And they didn't. It was LND who won, and they're looking to become 2-time tag champions. I think we both said Team No Chance, did we not? Looking to get in? I really forget.
I think I picked LND.
Probably LND. I don't remember exactly, but
Well, it was supposed to be a triple threat, but
that's true. We did have someone did no show. I do forget who exactly it was. I think it was Crimson Cyborg, unfortunately. Yep. That's right. We were joking about the possibility that he was stuck at the border or something. But it was just taken out. It might be actually in the kickoff recap. Forgive me for skipping that, but it became a simple one-on-one. And yeah, LND took the win, so they get the next tag title shot. I'm not sure when that is, but they get the shot at the champs. We don't know who the champs are yet, though. It is the AHMF, but we'll get to that match as we go. Next up is Ash versus the Dark Rider. Now, this one we both talked about quite a bit. About Ash either kind of solidifying himself at the top, or Dark Rider really making a play for that. And the way this match went down was kind of nuts. I'm scrolling through it, and it's long, and it's insane. But Ash did get the win, which, again, doesn't hurt Dark Rider. It just doesn't elevate him currently. But it's still a very good showing, I'd say, overall.
It also looks
how personal this was back and forth.
It also looks like there's a line drawn in the sand now, and everybody's on one side of,
Yeah, because Urban Legend was out there, and Lucha Warrior, Kier 1. Things got tense for all of that, definitely. And we do have a graphic watching from afar. That looks like Red, and the date,
it does,
August 23rd. So
yeah. I don't know what that means. I've been racking my brain over that. I don't know if that was something later on that I was supposed to catch, but I did not catch it.
It's something. I'm thinking that's the SummerSlam time frame, but I don't know if that's Red doing something or someone targeting Red. I'm not familiar with what it is. Red's with me. If it wasn't, I could easily be me doing something, but it's not. I can say that part at least.
Scott, you got to watch out for your woman.
Yeah, I know, right? Something's going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff's going crazy. Next up, though, was Super Hippo and CM Carlito. This was a big icon match, like we said. And it got shenanigans, because Carlito came out with a float and streamers and confetti and greeting the fans who were not there. And eventually he fights Hippo, who came down from the rafters without any wires. It was all weird and cool. And eventually he put him through the float, and CM was like, "Give me a mic, it's a tables match. Look in the float." There were tables in it.
Yeah.
And then,
that was pretty dope.
And then it lit on fire. So, and Hippo, at the end, had red and black face paint, and CM was terrified. So even though he won, this isn't over, clearly. Stuff's evolving for that. So next up was that 6-man Road Warrior title match, not the submission match.
Oh, man.
Sadly, no. But it was Jay Dionio, JJ Rocky, Randy, The Fiend Orton, Hawk, Payne, and Captain Charisma, who won earlier in the 6-man ladder match. And wouldn't you know it, JD won.
Yeah.
JD pulled it off. It was close, and everybody made a real good run for it, but JD did get the win. So it is kind of funny to think that JD kind of got all this extra time from having 4 shows canceled prior to this. But he faced all those challengers and then some, and managed to hold on anyway. So, yeah. It's kind of fine, right? Okay, sure. Now what?
Yeah. I was really impressed with Payne in that match, too. He showed up, and JJ Rocky almost had it. If we don't get a JJ Rocky and JD match sometime soon.
Especially, right?
Submission.
I'm
gonna be upset if that doesn't happen.
I still want that submission match. Urban Legend did get involved. Age of Annihilation were involved, attacking Captain Charisma. Stuff goes on. Things were crazy, but that match was nuts. Hey, speaking of nuts, sound stage in a cage.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote this. Oh, I had
It
so
was
much fun with
good.
it. I literally had ideas for it because it was always going to be a house, like a film set house in Hell in a Cell.
Hmm.
But after watching like the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match, I went, "Oh, okay, let's
Hmm.
let's do it cinematic, like it's edited with different camera angles. So when someone comes into another room, the camera's already there. They go through a wall or something." And the thing to note with this match is Broken Nerd destroyed Alpha Dog points wise. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna scroll up because it was 140 to 46. That might
Dang.
actually supposed to be negative 46. I think it's only 46. It was 100, but he like it's a quadruple squash. The record we've still confirmed is UVC versus Outsiders. That was a six tuple squash.
Oh man.
It was real bad. It was like 100 to negative 120 or something, or like 100. Yeah, no, yeah, it was 100. It was 20 to negative 100. It was bad, and this came close. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that we had fun with the idea of it literally being like a sitcom house set, so
Hmm.
like fake stuff all over the place. Um, but Broken Nerd being the guy who's going to be in the Terminator movie, then lost the role, but he's part of that world now. Alpha Dog's attacking him like with a knife, but doesn't realize
Oh
it's
yeah.
fake. So he's like, "What the hell are you
Hmm.
doing? If that was real, it would have been bad." And he's like, "It's not real." And it just goes from there. And then he had actually used the bike on him because that was real, and they go through the wall because it's fake. And yeah,
Hmm.
I always wanted them to go on the roof. That was always the whole point, was to get them on the roof. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with it. Then I realized I can have him jump off with the referee and go through. Yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun. But I had to make it so that even though Alpha Dog had a few little bits of offense, because it wouldn't be fun otherwise. Um, I had to make him get destroyed because of that score. So Broken Nerd did it pretty handily. He wrecked everything, and it was pretty great. I think
Oh, he is a Terminator after all.
he is a Terminator. Exactly, and
Uh,
he drove off, and I wanted to make sure that there was no other factions involved here either, because the idea was it was a
hmm.
closed set, and social distancing and everything. No one's allowed to be there anyway, so it made sense that no factions would be there. They'd keep them all out. But yeah,
Hmm.
I did go a bit far by having him do one-liners from Arnold movies, and I don't care one bit. It's fine. It made for a badass fun thing, I think. So,
Yep.
and as long as you see me scroll through it, so there we go. Next up is the Ultra Violent Championship match. Orstella with his first defense, just like Red, defending against the Ultimate Rider. The Ultimate Rider. It's an Ultimate X match with the Masked Rider. I like the Ultimate Rider. That's a good name.
It
Luke
is.
Gray and Hiroshin Moses. And Ultimate X is always finicky. We go back and forth on the points, but how this goes down is Hiroshin Moses outlasts and captures the championship. Now Lee was close, but it came down to Hero at the end. And that's a pretty big
Yes.
statement, him coming back and winning this, I think.
I was just about ready to say that. Yeah, it's a big deal, especially leading this new faction.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's literally growing every step without stopping. Like we haven't
Hmm.
seen it here yet, but it has been on every show with more and more being added. Now he's got this gold. But Broken Nerd showed up wanting his title back,
Yeah. Yep.
which was pretty awesome. He literally came from the soundstage right to the arena for that match. So that was a pretty cool instance to see. And he just destroyed that. So can you imagine? Like he's definitely in line for that. Like it's in his wheelhouse, definitely. I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Now, one thing to mention here. Let's see where to go. I think we skipped it. I want to apologize to people because I do believe during the ladder match. Yeah, there it was. During the ladder match for the Road Warrior title, CT and Redhead showed up. I forgot about that because they didn't have their own segment. They actually showed up and got involved in the ladders and stuff as there as well. I forgot about that. Um, they also got involved in the tables match with Super Hippo and Carlito. They kept popping up during different spots, which was pretty great. I loved it because that's what could happen. Falls can anywhere. Who can stop them? So
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, I think. But next up, just a normal, regular match with two of the best teams going. AHMF defending the tag titles against the team they just took them from, Simple Creatures. And the Creatures won it back.
They
I
did.
don't think that's ever really happened before where a team got it right back. Mostly because the team doesn't normally get a shot like that, but no one else was really worthy, so it makes sense here. But that's
Yep.
pretty unprecedented to show that it wasn't a fluke. They probably, some could argue, should have won that tournament and never lost them in the first place. I mean, if anybody knows that kind of discussion, it's you as part of the solution, right? So
Yeah.
where you pretty
Yeah,
much
that's very
lost,
true.
you lost it to us. Then as soon as the tournament was over, you got it back. So,
Yep.
very similar here, but that does make them two-time tag champions. It does add to both of these teams. I don't think it devalues anything. I know some people like longer reigns. Bomber's one of them. I like long reigns too, but I like to see teams fighting over it. Some say that it makes the title like a hot potato. It's not worth as much, but to me, it just shows that these teams are both worthy of it. So,
Yeah.
and no one should argue that with these two teams. HMF is one of the best there ever has been, and Simple Creatures just dethroned them to take their titles back. So, definitely good showing, and that means they're going to rematch with LND, who are the team they won it from in the first place. So maybe they go and do the same thing Creatures just did. I don't know, but I like that. That's very interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Next up, bear me, it's the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
The Prediction League Hall of Fame class of 2020. John, 21, 13, and 1. With 1,034 points, he was the first JRPL World Champion, a two-time JRPL World Champion. I believe the first to do that as well. 2017 Stable and Feud of the Year Jobby winner. 275 achievement points and 14 JRPL main events. I believe his last show was the Rumble in 2019, if I'm correct, was his last showing. The lights went down, and you and the Warden, who is also gone ever since, I believe, SummerSlam or All Out. I forget the timing. I think it was All Out, which was the quote-unquote last show. That was his last showing. He came back, and you guys haven't really been eye to eye in a while. So
No, no.
it was very interesting seeing you guys there, coming together for your solution friend, Warden eyeing your title here and there. Something he never had. He never had a singles belt. He actually came so close to that Road Warrior belt, and so did you. It's kind of funny how you guys never actually got that. You both tried for it.
Yeah.
I say that laughing because I had it for 5 days, but I digress. It was 5 days, but I still had it. So, but it was very, very succinct, very to the point, where you guys were talking about your history. Then John did the same and really kind of, I don't want to say put him over, but that's kind of the point. You did. You guys put him over. He put you guys over and liked everything. And ended with fuck the regulators, which was kind of funny as well. Just to see that.
Oh, yeah.
The FTR, which has a whole new different meaning right now. But one thing at the end was everybody was there. Woody, Tino, Boss, and AK, along with you and the Warden, all hugging John on stage as the first Hall of Famer. Woody not on the card. He's essentially retired now as well. AK is gone. Boss is gone. It's really just you, isn't it? Wow. After going through those names, you're the only one left of the solution. You are the solution. I know I said that in jest last time, but you really are the only one left.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
wow.
still here. Yeah.
What makes that fun is the way it ended is balloons and confetti were falling, everything is great, and we get one last shot of Warden staring at your title belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some things never change. Trust me, I know what it's like to stare at that belt and want it, so. Yeah.
It's true.
I've said it before. I was going to make a promo calling out you and Tino, saying no matter who has it, I want it, but we'll see. We'll see. Next up, though, Jut Jut and Bastion. Iron Man match. This, again, I wrote this one for the record, was... Iron Man matches are hard to write, because I like to write the whole match. And you know that. I'll write like an 8-minute epic. Just, balls out, no stopping, done.
Cool.
I don't do... And later in the match, I used to do that, but I'd rather see the whole thing, because I like to structure it that way. So I did that for this, and I pretty much did nothing for the first bit, and just had disqualifications and countouts for the first start of it. And then I made sure Jut Jut got the lead, because I wanted Bastion to come back and tie it. I had fun with their finishers. I had fun with the craziness. I made sure no one got involved because even though Bomber's a good guy and he could get involved against that dastardly Jut, that's not what Bastion would want. He wants to do it himself, so that I made sure of that. And toward the end, I tried to figure out what could put him away after all that. And Jut's finisher is the GTS. And then Bastion does the ASP, which is Phoenix Splash. So when he was coming in at the top, he caught him with a knee, which is almost like a GTS, and then did the ASP for their combined tag finisher to get him in overtime. Because they tied in this Iron Man match. And when you do that by getting the same number of picks correctly, which is what they both did with 8, which meant 8 falls, it went to points. Because say there's 16 matches, but you got 8 right and I got 8 right, but there were 10, and you got your 10-pointer right and I got my 1-pointer right, well, you got more points, so you win in overtime. And that's what happened here. So, Bastion wins. And
yeah.
It's pretty crazy. That's a big, big win. I hoped for it because I always like to see the good guy win, but as a bad guy, I kind of want to see the bad guy win too. I want to see Jut get that because it almost validates the whole thing that he did, right?
Yeah, I was yeah, it would have. I was a little surprised that Bastion won because I remember after night 1, Bastion's like, "Well, I think I pretty much lost. I don't think I can come back and win this." And I was like, "Oh," and then after the results came out, I was like, "Oh, he did win."
Yeah,
and it was in overtime. I was like, "That's dope."
Yeah, their picks were similar, and that ended up happening. So, pretty crazy. Next up, though, hey, look, it's the top log title. CT and Red came back. Now,
Deja vu.
What was happening was they were getting set because they had to take the ropes down for the no rope barbed wire death match that I was in, and during that, these guys came out and actually took some of the barbed wire and started attacking each other with that, which was pretty fun. It's again using, it's like the old ECW shows, how they would have the entire program be a story. In some Raws, used to do that back in the Austin era. Instead of just like, now it's this segment, now it's that segment. It's everything kind of had fingerprints start to finish. Like Buddy Murphy staying in the ring led to him joining Seth Rollins. Little things like that. So they've got to take that stuff down and play the package. Wait, no, they're fighting. Get the cameras on him. That kind of thing. So yeah, it was rather interesting. And Redhead actually got the finish. She choked him out with her finisher, with barbed wire in the forehead. Now, CT can never challenge for the top block title again. Ever.
Man, that's nuts.
I presume ever. That's how I'm going with it. So, yeah, if it's wrong, we'll find out. But it's wrestling. Who knows? But that's a big, big deal. Because he never really had a shot to get it back. He had one chance, and I think it got postponed. So things got messed up with that. But what happened from there is the rest of the Enigmas came out. Because Red had her Infinity mask during this, took it off. Because bit of a personality thing. Think like a Three Faces of Foley. Bit of a shift in that. And Red maintained that she, Scott, and I, and Lee never attacked. Rab's gonna laugh at that. I said I for Lee. That's pretty funny. But they said nothing happened. And Junction and Adnex came out saying, no, this is what it was. And they showed footage. And Breaker was there. An old Enigma, but disappeared way back when. And things got crazy. Because they attacked and chased them off. And CT and Red ended up trading punches onto Adnex. And the Enigmas kind of collapsed and reformed a bit because CT and Red were like, oh, okay. Oops. Sorry. And kind of made up. So I definitely like what happened there, but what is going, like...
I don't know what's going on.
No, and I kind of love it. 'Cause we're definitely not done yet. So it looks like, though, the Enigmas are stronger than ever, but different people were the ones splintering and fracturing things. So
where does that leave Red with you guys? I don't know.
Well,
she
stayed out for my match because that was the next match. My music hit, and she stayed there. So she's still with me, still with the Infinity.
For now.
Yeah, because I was getting ready for a match. We'll see what happens. Who the heck knows?
Yeah.
So this was fun because my original entrance was going to be that I come out, and Red comes out first, so like dark, spooky music. The crowd's like, ooh, whatever, and she's got like a cloak like the Grim Reaper, like death. Because in the comics, Death is who Thanos wants to get with. That's why he does what he does. They didn't do that in the movie, for the record. But I was going to do that because I'm a nerd. And my gear was going to be all Thanos style, kind of like Rollins was, but without the boot. Because I was going to have a gauntlet, and I was going to like break it, and the lights would go up, and that would be it. And she was going to have a scythe, an actual scythe with a metal handle. But because of the way her match was, she couldn't actually be there for that. And we had to fiddle with it and actually do it this way instead. So she just stayed out there. And when I realized there's no crowd, I went, oh, I know what to do. So I wrote my entrance where I come out, Thanos style, with the gear and a gauntlet, still with the title belt, like pieces of title belts. And it's a virtual crowd that's projected on for the audience at home to see. So yeah, and I snapped my fingers, and then the crowd, the virtual crowd, would fade away. And that's such a good heel thing. And when we come back, we show Red is in a different outfit. It's like death themed. So that was the way to kind of play with it. And instead of her having a scythe, because that would play in the match, I had the gauntlet piece, like it would break, so I used that. And got to the ring and had protective gloves. Not the gauntlet, but actually like gloves, because it's fucking barbed wire. And
Right.
then I had Bomber come out with a SWAT van, kind of like a shield entrance, and just start beating the shit out of me. And we knew after night one that I'd won. Because no matter how the outcomes went, we had the same picks, but the points weren't there, so I had the match. So I really made sure, like, I told him going in, even if I win, you're going to kick the shit out of me. And I made sure of that, because I based it on a CZW match that I was inspired by. Casanova, Valentine, and Masada from their anniversary show. I watched that because I was like, all right, let's see this. And oh, God. So I was inspired by that. And I basically had him get the better of me damn near every time because it's his element. And like he's like breaking a barbed wire bat, breaking the gauntlet, cutting each other, and everything like that. And how I wanted to do it, because I did a promo, and every write-up I've done, he's getting the better of me in like the brawls. But I can hold my own in technical, and he even said that, like, if it's technical, you'll beat me. I'm like, okay. The way I had it toward the end was he's doing all this stuff and doing all this like violence, and so am I, but he's better at it, and he can take it better too. But at the end, I'm able to get a hold of him and get the submission in that way. And it's like, look, I'm in your wheelhouse, but I'm doing my thing. Now I can beat you, was the way I kind of structured that. And I thought that was a really cool idea for that. I really liked the thought of that. So
Same. Yeah.
it just seems like a normal, like a natural structure you would have, where if you keep doing what you do and keep me from doing what I do, you're good. But in the middle of the ring, yeah, I can get this. The way it escalated, though, was a bag of glass. And I figured no matter what happened, that was going to get involved by being put on someone's head. And I'd put it on his head, and I'd do the cross swords, and you'd see the blood come through the bag, almost like a Shroud of Turin. The flip side would have been he put the bag on my head and Dirty Deeds me, big DDT, and just I'm done.
Ooh.
That was it either way. Like no matter what, that was gonna be the finish. Like just out. One of my favorite bits actually was when he took the barbed wire off the bat and wrapped it around my hands and then stomped on it to like tie them. So I'm like, I've got like tied hands with barbed wire. Like what do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to counter it to the cross swords using that on his face, and then he bit me through it. It just escalated in a way of hatred for like 3 years for a good story like you'd get out of that. So I really like that. I like the fact that my character evolved and his character evolved, that we could have this match, which would have been very different a year ago or 2 years ago. So much more better now after everything we've done. Amazingly, that's my first deathmatch win ever.
Yeah, what a time to get it too.
I've never won it, and that's why I kind of like it. I really like the fact that I won that because of that. It's like it's a match that, I mean, he's got an achievement for winning 10 of them, which means he's probably been in more than that. And I've never won.
That's his match. Yeah.
So it's like the old promo Edge had. It's with a ladder match with Taker. It's like a match you've never had, a match I've never lost. It's like, oh, how the hell am I going to do this? But it worked out well. It worked out really good. I loved everything about it. It's one of my favorite matches I've done. I know ours were, but I think this one is now my favorite. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
But I also said too, no matter what, even if I win, I'm gonna look like death warmed over. Like I'm carried from the ring. We're both bloody. I look out of it. Like I'm not celebrating a victory. I wanted to make sure of that because even though the bad guy won, shouldn't be celebrating that. No. That's like Shane McMahon and The Miz. No, the bad guy won, but you don't want to see him like, "Yay, I did it." No, it's like, "Oh God, I barely lived." So
Right, little piece of you died in there too.
exactly. Speaking of, that's kind of what happened with the main event. That's the world title match we have here with Bear Me Jesus, you, and the Rumble winner Tino. Which again, my favorite part of this is Tino is the only guy to win a Rumble and win the title, but the Solution are the only people to ever retain the title against a Rumble winner. So that was going head to head. Also, it's literally the Rumble winner and the runner-up from last year. So this was a hell of a match to try to put together. Let's just say it. You won.
Yeah.
But I came to both of you guys, separately of course, to see what you wanted for your entrances. And Tino's like, something with a clock. All right. That's all he gave me. So I had a giant clock that he came out of. And it was Tino time. That was kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what to do for you, but you said something with beer. So I literally had you hide beers all over because there's no crowd in there anywhere. You can put them wherever you want. So
Yeah, that was great.
I thought that was pretty fun to just do that. And like, where are they? I should have had you going for more through the match, but it was a normal match. No shenanigans of DQ or anything, so I wanted to make sure of that. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make sure it was intense, because I go for those kind of burst of speed matches, but I wanted to kind of make it a bit different where he knew you very well. Like that kind of thing where you don't get out of the gates early.
Yeah.
Until something happens and it says bang! And that happened where it kind of went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then he just Kinshasa'd you and knocked you out of the ring. Because you went for a move, couldn't get it, got it. I even said you go for a cross swords because you've been in it so much, back and forth. Boom! It's like a gunshot, you fly out. Mm-hmm. But that's to his detriment. That was the thing I wanted to make sure. It's like, oh, he got you, but he can't win the belt that way. So it's a good structure of how to do it, keeping you strong, but putting him over. That's always my main thing for this kind of stuff. The segment that I'm never quite sure that I worded it right. Is I had him up in the corner, sitting on the turnbuckle, and you're standing there doing like the 10 punches. And he shoves you back, and your left foot stays, and your right foot kind of goes, and you're like, not old school the top rope, but the middle rope, if you get that. Mm-hmm. And you kind of balance there. And then you fly forward with a clothesline and send them off to the barricade. The best part was you were all awkward and climbed down, and this... Tino told me he loved this bit, where he jumped from the barricade, because I figured they were closer, right? Because there's no reason to have crowd, right? He jumped from the barricade, and Kinshasa'd you, which I'm saying wrong, it's Kinshasa, you into the ring post, just like, and you just went down, which again, gets him over as a threat, but you survived it, because he had to get you in the ring. He had to take care, yeah, he damn near took your head off, though, so.
Yeah.
I made sure of that. Because it's a WrestleMania main event. You got to kick out of finishers, right? So.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. He kicked out of your Razor's Edge, which I don't know if that's happened before. Sorry if I just blew that, but I thought it was a good moment.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has. Oops. But the way I did it was literally you'd been hit by 2 Kinshasas, one on the outside on the ring post, and you caught him, literally caught the knees, lifted up, and did a Razor's Edge. That's not really a full one, right? You know.
Right.
Right. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
It's like a pop-up.
Yeah, and then he went for one, because you went for a Kinshasa, because we got to reverse the finishers.
Right.
Countered it. He caught himself in the corner, and literally you were like, come here. And just picked him off, and boom, right in the middle of the ring. I like the idea that it wasn't the big hit, big hit, big hit. It was all these counters. And he's literally standing, facing away from you in the corner. Oh, thank you. Boom.
Right.
And you got him. You got the win with that. You retain the title. Officially now, more champions have retained their titles against Rumble winners than not. And it still remains that only people who were part of the Solution have done so. That's pretty crazy to me.
That is kind of nuts.
Yeah. To really think of how many people are here, like I think we had 60, 70 people involved in this WrestleMania, and over the years of people who are not here anymore. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty crazy. The aftermath there wasn't done because oh, and I made sure, forgive me, I made sure that you did spooky fingers to the camera and the audience at home, kind of like Drew McIntyre reached out, just because that's where the audience is. You're the champ, you're the face, right? So
Oh yeah.
I wanted to get a good moment like that in there. But the camera cut inside the ring because Luke came out to check on Tino, and then the Renaissance music hit, and here come Hero with his UV title and a microphone, along with the Alpha Dog, who got his ass beat. Nathan A.K. and Cassius, and Luke is like, what's going on? This is no brawling, not time for fighting, it's time for consequences, and he ordered you to join us. He made you an offer. He tried to make a champion. You refused him, and you tried to fight him, and if you have ideas where this is going, yeah, Tino attacked Luke, because it was him, and Tino joined the Renaissance. Because at every show, someone joins the Renaissance. And when is this going to stop? And
Right.
I thought it wasn't going to happen because no one did. And it's just down to like me and Bomber and then the main event. And he's UVC, I'm Infinity, and there's you guys. There's nobody left. But Tino did. So Tino gave you the fight of your life, and now he's part of the Renaissance. Who is a definite major threat. We said that before, but this just got real bad for everybody. You know that well as the solo champion and as part of a faction of 3. Yeah, I know what's up, even though we're heels. That's not good. That's not good at all. No. How do you feel about Renaissance?
Oh man. It's gonna be interesting now. I mean, now you got Hero, who's the champ. You got Nathan 8K, who's a former tag champ. Alpha Dog, who's a former Road Warrior champ, and then now you got Tino, former world champ. You got a lot of champions right there, and then you got the new guy Cassius.
Yeah.
I mean,
one of the only guys to take me to a draw.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a stable to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem. I definitely think they're going to be a major problem for us, for everybody, for that matter. So.
Also, on the flip side, I think this could benefit Luke if he's able to put together some wins. He could be a big babyface.
That's true.
But I don't know because there's strength in numbers, and Renaissance has it right now.
Yeah, I never was much for factions. Fun fact, I almost reached out to Solution at one point, actually, to team up. There's unknown history there, but I was like, no, I'm solo. I'm the solo guy, which why Infinity became a thing. I'm like, I like my faction. I'm good. I always thought if I was in a faction, I'd be the one to start it. So that's more what I thought there. But being solo, especially as a world champ, that's a problem when you've got that out there, along with Infinity. We're all gunning for you, you know it, and stuff like that. So it's definitely issues and problems going on there, right? So. And to that end, there is also Money in the Bank. That is May 10th. That is on the screen. There will be 6 people in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And the winner will get a Money in the Bank contract, which by our rules gives you, I believe, a plus 10 to your points, which means you can cash in, just let the bookers know. And you can say, I want to cash in on Bear Me. So Bear Me can have his match and then gets cashed in on. That can happen. Or you can declare it. You can declare that shot too. So, how do you feel about Money in the Bank? Because if I'm correct, the world champion has lost to the Money in the Bank cash-in both times. It was JD cashed in on the Finn, and Woody cashed in on Boss. So, and there was another one as well, I think. There was tag team as well, but I think that was... It's never not happened.
Yeah. No Chance cashed in on the Enigmas, and
took the tag title.
Tino won the first one, but he cashed in on John when 3J Platinum was about to win the world title.
That's right. Yes. So you want to talk about defying the odds? no champ has ever resisted Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. But who knows? Maybe they won't go after me. Maybe it'll be somebody else. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Tell you what, if I
I mean, I
wanted to
doubt
go
it,
after it,
but
I'd go after you. You better believe it.
I know you would.
And I would declare it too. I'd be like, I wanted Impact. Or so, I would do it.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I would want that. But it's as far as I know, I honestly don't know who's in it. I'm pretty sure I'm not. I had my shot last time, and I did so bad. Luke was late and lost 5 points, and I still did worse than he did. It was one of my worst showings. I was like, oh. It was one of the few losses I had going on my hot streak after Mania last year, which, hey, maybe I'll get it again.
Hey, never know.
But we do have one match for Money in the Bank. It is JD defending the Road Warrior title against Captain Charisma.
That's not bad.
So Cap gets a clear shot.
It's not JD and JJ, but
we'll get there. But we do have, look, it's the King of the Ring first round. So, like I said, next week we will reveal those matches, basically, and the bracket of what will be involved in that at Money in the Bank.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Now, one thing I do want to mention, Beer Me, is there is the 3-0 Club at WrestleMania. I'm part of that now. There's, I think, 4 or 5 of us that have never lost at Mania. Except you had to go and do a silly thing and win the Battle Royal as well, so technically you're 4-0.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. You are 4-0 at WrestleMania, technically. Even though if you didn't win the Battle Royal,
technically,
you'd be like me at 3-0, because I didn't win it either, but I'm 3-0. So, yeah. So now it's suddenly like, oh god, I have a streak. It's pretty awesome, but also terrifying, right? So,
one of these years I'll have to do streak versus streak, I guess.
Damn right.
If it goes that way.
But we've been going. It is close to an hour, despite everything I said. I'm sure I can trim this a bit, but we should end it here because we got next week. We'll talk about stuff there. We'll go on to detail at that point for what's going on. We will end it, though, with the survey. Like I said, the survey is there. That will be available on the jobberradio.com site. Go there, check it out. As always, Jobber Radio is there, and Frontline, get caught up as well if you want to see some archive about how we dealt with all this crazy mania. I think we did a good job. I'm really proud of it. Everything involved with the people that were part of it and did all the writing, CT, GMSG, Red. Everybody involved did a hell of a lot. Bomber, I know, and you and Warden wrote stuff for the Hall of Fame, so you guys were part of that too. So it was a whole hell of a lot of stuff.
I think it's my favorite Mania so far with the JRPL.
You think so?
I would have to say. Yeah, I'd have to say.
I think so. I'd agree with that. Not just because the stuff that I was involved in, because I never writ stuff like this before. Like it's Tigris, myself, GMSG, CT. We all do parts of it. But seeing some of the stuff, like I love Soundstage. The Iron Man's nuts, and I love My First Blood. I love the Anything Goes match was so much fun to see Red pull that off. But yeah, it's overall for what happened. I think it is as a show overall was some of the most fun we've had. But you only get there because of 3 years. The next one I think will be better because we've had 4 years. And it'll just keep getting better because of simply the history we can pull on. Because like I said, Scott versus Bomber wouldn't have been nearly as good at the first Mania. Like, that history would not be there. We wouldn't have even had me failing at death matches yet. To recover from death matches, to do a death match. Like, that's the whole reason he picked that match, because I can't win those. So, like, there's so much involved in history like that. You and Tino especially. So, but any other comments on WrestleMania?
No, it was a great show. Great show.
I think this has been a great show. I think we will cut it here, like I said. JobberRadio.com. Check out that survey. The deadline for that is going to be Money in the Bank weekend, May 10th. We'll leave it at that. And I just saw that AEW is going to do Double or Nothing on pay-per-view after all anyway in May, so we're still good for that one as of right now. Who knows if that changes, but as of right now, looks like we got at least Money in the Bank and Double or Nothing for May. So that's 2. We got 2.
All right.
We got 2. And that's a house show, so we got 2. So thanks again. Everybody have a good night. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.